Live from the canyons of Vermont, it's amateur radio station K1GMM, where zip ties and duct tape are a man's best friend and cheese is always extra.
Hey, folks, how's it going? K1GMM Steve, Vermont. I have something for you guys. It is the Thermaltake. Thermaltake Smart DPS G Series power supply, computer power supply. Now, those of you who have been following the stream, I don't know if I've mentioned this before, but I've had noise issues on 20 meters and up, 2017, 15, 10, and I was able to track it down on the computer. Now this is for the folks who have birdies on a waterfall, pan adapter, whatever, or worse, which is what I had. And you've looked everywhere. And I have a useful nugget of information. So I ended up going through the computer. You can read this stuff online. I did a lot of searching around, and they're like, it's a grounding issue. It's yada, yada, yada. You know, make sure everything's grounded. Place plenty of ferrite beads. I thought it was the HDMI cables, because HDMI cabling can be a problem. They can radiate and cause problems in your shack. Couldn't solve the problem. So I was talking to a friend of mine on the All-Star system, Kerry, VK4TUB. Kerry, kudos, buddy. You are right on the money with this one. He said, check the power supply. So what was happening was, if the computer was idle, in other words, the operating system was running and it was just sitting there idling, everything was fine. But the minute I launched a program, all hell broke loose. And it sounded like popcorn, really rapid popcorn. And I'll show you the pan adapter. So on the pan adapter, you can see there's no noise anymore. This is the way it's supposed to look. I had these massive humps of noise all throughout the spectrum, throughout the band, on 20, 17, 15, and 10. And it got worse as the frequency climbed. As the frequency got higher, it got worse and worse. And it was just plastered full. By the time I got to 15 meters, it was horrible. It was still workable, but there you go. So he said, check the power supply, because I guess what happens is the caps dry out and they begin to radiate. And what was happening was, it would, let me get back over here, it would radiate this EFI, which was getting into the station here. And again, it was only when the computer was being tasked. So when I'd launch a piece of software, let's say SDR console, could be I tried any piece of software, including a browser, and it just went crazy. So sure enough, yesterday I received the Thermaltake power supply. This is a 750 watt supply. You can get it off of Amazon. And I slapped that puppy in, and I'll tell you what, yeah. Take a look at the pan adapter. It was carnage to this. Absolutely phenomenal. Dead quiet. So that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys. It's not a particularly cheap power supply, and it's not a top-of-the-line power supply. They supply you with enough cabling to pretty much get the job done. The computer I have here is 11 years old. It's a 6-core AMD, 16 gigs of RAM, liquid-cooled, and I was just about ready to pull the trigger on a new computer. And thank goodness I didn't, because I'm going to run this till I basically grenade the thing. till I turn it into a molten pile of plastic. So I've been looking. I'm probably going to upgrade to an i7. Latest generation i7 with 32 gigs of RAM at least. I may jam 64 in there. But I'm going to do it in pieces, but that's in the future. So for anybody who's plagued with noise with computers, it almost doesn't, what I wanted to tell you is it almost doesn't even matter how old the computer is. Kerry explained it to me best. He said, keep in mind that these power supplies are cranked out by the millions and they fail by the thousands. I believe when I talked to him a few days ago, he said he had three computers on the bench, all needing new power supplies. So most of us run computers in our station. If you have a noise issue and ferrite suppression, grounding doesn't take care of it, most likely it's the power supply. It's not the fans. I'm not saying that's an absolute, but I would look towards the power supply because wow, it worked. And it's a decent power supply. I think they're around between 80 and 90 bucks through Amazon. Again, and I'll put the model number in the description so I don't have to show it to you again. Anyways, thanks for watching. I figured I'd throw an update at you guys, and I will place the keywords in so people can find it. This is kind of a review. Not really. Power supply is a power supply to me. I don't really care. But the power supply that came out of the computer was a 1,000-watt power supply. It was a big dog, and it was way overkill for what I need. So anyways, 7.3. If you want to be notified of any videos or live streams going online, go ahead and subscribe. I always say this, I don't care if you subscribe or not. But if you want to be notified and you want to keep track of what's going on, go ahead and subscribe and click the little bell icon on my YouTube channel, and you'll be notified when something goes up. Thanks for watching, 7.3, and we'll catch you all soon, hopefully on a live stream. Stop in and say hello. This is Steve, K1GMM, out of here.